therapy for asthma. That's what we're talking about today. What is asthma? Asthma is a condition in which a person's airways become inflamed, swell, and narrow, producing mucus sometimes, making it difficult for them to breathe. Types, it could be allergies, which is environment related usually, non-allergic, childhood induced, which is usually goes away in their adulthood, and exercise induced. And symptoms, shortness of breath, cough, congested chest. Again, they say mostly it is difficulty to exhale most of the times, but it could be in here also, but it's usually exhalation is the tough part for asthmatics. Causes, so the reasons is again environment, the genetics is another one. Stress is a very common word we use across every single disease almost nowadays you hear, and obesity. But the good thing about this, one of this asthma is that it is reversible. Talking about stress, stress is one thing that you hear a lot. Anything that people say nowadays, you say, oh, it's relax. I want to go for a massage. We casually say without even thinking, I want to go for a massage. Why? Because they know that they're stressed and they want to just go and just feel lighter. That's what it is. So when I was trying to talk about how to do stress, and I thought, okay, maybe the real life example is the best way to do this. So I was a new person in the company, and the first day in my job, and my previous manager had brought me to this job because he thought I was good. So I'm in this new hire orientation and really enjoying my training, and suddenly we realized that this training is going to go for longer than expected. So my mind enters this really infinite loop. Oh, first day of my job, my manager has expectations. I did so great in my previous job, and I have a meeting with him after this, and I'm supposed to meet with him like this, and what is he going to expect? He's going to think this is my first day, and I'm taking it casually already because I know him. And then I thought, oh, maybe I should never have quit the previous job. Maybe I would have been better in my old job. What was wrong with my old job? So I'm already stuck in my past, and I'm also not getting information from my current training. So this is the infinite loop my mind was just getting into. And that was because I texted my manager saying, oh, I'm going to be late for my meeting, by the way. And the one word he said, fine. So I was reading into that one word saying this is, he probably thinks, this is the worst thing that can, the worst person I hired and all these things. So I didn't enjoy any of my training. And then later I asked my manager, like, oh, did you get my message? He said, yeah. I said, you're fine. I said, that's it? He said, yeah. I was busy and I said, fine. So what do you think it was? So I just caused myself all this stress for nothing. So that's what it was eventually. But what happened in the process? What happened was, if you see the picture, I did not have a thought process, or even I didn't even take a second to think about what that message was, or could have said, I had a choice. I can either get the most information of this training, or I can step out and take a call. I didn't have options. So that lack of making that decision made me send me into this infinite loop of having so many crazy thoughts, which caused shortness of breath, which means I was using my inhaler a lot. And I thought, oh, my inhaler, again, and another thought in the process is, oh, I think this inhaler is not going to do it today. I better take my steroid. Maybe when I go home. Again, that caused my inflammation, and which led to the inhaler thing. So what ideally should have happened, especially after I got the messages, if I had a second, I thought, okay, he said fine, so he should be okay with it. If not, I'll just talk to what happened. So that's all it is. So it's a clear process of thought here, and which means there is no shortness of breath, which means the breathing is normal here, and my airways are not constricted, which means I don't have to use my medication at this time. So obviously it's a restless versus restful state, which is, and at least I think you want to be in a restful state versus a restless all the time. So that was just one incident that happened in the day, but if I had multiple of those incidents, so which means I'm constantly in a stressful situation, so that can obviously be causing a lot of my inflammation and medication use. So that is what it is, yeah. So although yoga itself is potentially therapeutic, healing, ultimately giving us, peace of mind to some extent. It starts with maybe, let's say, one stress-related thing at a time. Let's say out of 10 in a day, it might be one less, but it adds up, and maybe it could be 5 less. Application of yogic tools, postures and exercises, and meditation technique, and also breath techniques to address each and every single individual's need, more emotional and mental. So a typical plan for to manage asthma is for Annamaya Kosha, which is movements ranging from gentle to vigorous asanas. Asanas like Bhujangasana, Ardha Chakrasana, Virabhadrasana, Ushrasana, Jalaneti or Sutaneti as a cleansing technique. A lot of breath techniques like sectional breathing for sure. And one more was Brahmari, Kapalbhati, and Bhastrika. Knowledge, which is you're the yoga counselor, also gives you a lot of examples and also stories and tidbits from various books and whatever their experiences and life examples. So that's the knowledge, and whatever you learn here, you take it with you, so you can manage your own condition very effectively on a daily basis. Meditation and also relaxation technique like mind sound resonance technique, and it could all be a combination of all of these. And we also teach chair breathing, which is during an asthma attack. Let's say, for example, you can just take a breath and you can actually manage your own asthma attack, and maybe even manage it much better even with by using chair breathing techniques. So that's very relaxing. At the same time, your asthma does come to control without really having to use steroids all the time a lot. So that's how it is.
Thank you. Can I throw a challenge at you guys for final weekend? 1 hour of, actually 2 hours we have to spend on this, but we will. 10 minutes each. Talking about frozen.